Well, welcome to Plan Watch Walk, the home of great walking and open honest equipment reviews. Today is a bit of a story behind this walk, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. But we're going to be heading up to Shilmore. We're up in the Northumberland National Park, pulling round some great views and heading down the valley, up the other side to Linhope Spout, and then pulling back round. But before we get going, let's have a look at the routing and the mapping and see what adventures we've got ahead of us. Leaving Hartside, we head along the valley before reaching the trig point on Shilmore. Then head along the second valley before a climb to High Cantle and a walk across the fells to Linhope Spout. We're starting off at the head of the valley here, and beautiful morning. We're in early March, and you can see behind us blue skies, fresh winds, which is really very pleasant. So if we just have a quick look around, you can see here the beautiful stunning scenery, and our first point is the other side of that house ahead of us. So we're going to head off down the road, and I'll tell you the backstory to this walk shortly. See the car parked up there, the cars, that's Hartside, as I say, we're at the head of Hartside Valley. Then the scenery around here is just stunning. There's the farm which we're going to be heading to, and then if we have a look ahead of us here, we can see the path which we're going to be following initially, and then straight ahead of us here is Shilmore with the trig point on top. The last time I took this particular route was January. It was a beautiful winter's morning and it was absolutely stunning, really enjoying it. Lots and lots of snow and ice underfoot. I'll show some pictures as we go through. And we got through and ending up having to turn back for the right reason, and the right reason being I didn't want to call anyone out, because by that point it was waist deep in snow up on the top here. But I'll more about that as we get going. But we're now in March, can't see any snow, a bit breezy, a bit cool, but beautiful morning, and yeah, looking forward to having another go at this one. The track's taking us down this path here, and we've come to this beautiful little tributary here. And the last time we're here, this was pretty much iced over. So we've got the river continuing, and then our path takes us up to the farm, Almore, and up into the hills. So when I was out in early January, I took a view from roughly here, and beautiful scenery, as you can see. I'm going to cut across backwards and forwards to the actual clip I took back in January to show you what it'll look like when it's covered in snow. Except today is a day where we want to just keep looking all around us. The scenery with the snow across the hills and the fells here, it's just stunning. We're still on the path, and you're starting to get some of the spectacular views here that we have in Northumberland, in the National Park. So we can see there's the road, and there's a fence. Just past the fence we're going to be turning left, and as we pan round you can see the sheep, and you can see the horseshoe with centre there. That's going to be our climb up to Shilmore. Apologies going into the sun, getting some sort of idea of we've pulled off the road. We can just see pretty much dead centre of screen there, and following the track up here, starting to get some of the magnificent scenery. And believe me, it gets better as we get further up. So our path is leading us straight ahead, and the scenery comparison to last time I did, at this point I was about well over ankle deep in snow, and yeah, it got progressively worse. But we'll show you some of the comparable videos as we are continuing along. But if we look back at the trail now ahead of us, it's actually really well defined. I couldn't see any of this last time. And then we've got our route heads up onto the top of Shilmoor there. So at this point on our last walk, I tried to follow the path that's on there, put it on the top corner there, and started heading across here, across the heather and the bogs and things, and got 200 yards and ended up knee height plus in snow. Well, I've just tried to get across the moors here to get up on the route there up onto Shilmoor, and I'm into my knees, sometimes up to my hips. So I'll come back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to follow this track. Last time we continued on, and if you haven't watched the video, it's worth watching, because it controlled, but it gets worse. Eventually gets to about waist deep, so we came back. But what we're going to do now, I don't know if you can hear, there's a burn just beside us, but we've got some paths that are leading up. So we're going to start taking those paths, probably head up on top of there, and then head up, and I don't know if you can see it, centres the trig point up there. So we're going to head up on top of here and get the trig point. What you can see below here, this is the valley we've climbed out from. It's a steady climb, very doable, and we now have the start of magnificent views. So our path continues in that direction, and we will find the trig point probably just over the right. Much further to go. Pile of stones, trig point there. This is such a pleasant descent from the trig point. You can just see ahead of us. Not sure if you can hear the skylarks. Anyway, ahead of us here we can see the Salters track, which we're going to head down to. We're going to follow that through the valley for a short while. As I said before, the topography around here is just stunning. Well, we're down here in the along the road, or the road track, and the wind's dropped, walking's a bit easier. Those pebbles underfoot, and I'm trying to fill them, that's why I'm looking down. It gets you reflecting a bit on different weather conditions and what that actually means to a walk. As you saw some of the conditions today, although getting up on top there's a bit of wind, it's not the end of the world. But if you look what it was just a couple of months ago, but not even that, 6 weeks ago, and the snow, and this is a really pleasant walk. And not too trying, we've got a bit of a hill up to a trig point, but when the snow was down, it made it from a bit of a bit of a climb into a really quite potentially perilous walk, to be perfectly honest, and just gives you a real sense of how weather conditions can play a massive part when we're out walking. And it just really makes you reflect and think about, we need to do the preparation. So yeah, it's a bit humbling to be able to look at it both ways and just realise how much the elements can actually impact on any walk that you have. So you've got to be prepared for pretty much everything and anything, especially when you're in the hills. But here we have the scenery around us, of which makes everything worthwhile. As we continue on our path, we pick up the River Breamish, which you can see here. Beautiful, beautiful. For those that have watched some of my videos before, you know that I have get a certain serenity and tranquility when walking along riverbanks. So we're now continuing along the path. Very easy walking here, and the backdrop is just beautiful. Heading through the wooded glade, and we're accompanied by the Breamish that you just hear tinkling away in the background. The tranquility of this section of the walk has just been fantastic. The river, and it just replenishes the soul, as the saying goes. So as we come along, I'm going to come to a disused shack of some sort on our right. Ahead of us there's a small bridge you can just see, and there's a gate, and just before we get to the gate there is a post, and on the post is a sign which says, what does it say? Public bridle way. Do you see it there? As we look up, we've got a fence with a gate in, and I can just see a sign on there. So we're going to be heading up, probably up to the little heights just over in the centre of the screen. Oh, I don't know if you can see. There's the moon. Well, there's a couple of really good things about this ascent. The first one is the stunning views. Just fantastic. And the second point is, markers pretty much centre of the screen, and there's one just up on the high ground again, pretty much centre of the screen. So that's really good. So we're heading up onto that little peak over there. Not much further to go. We're currently up on High Cantle now. You can see the gate ahead of us, some signs, posts the other side, and our path takes us over the fells there, and we're going to be heading over to Rake Cairn. And as we come to a high point, we yet again get some more magnificent views. I don't think it gets much better than this. I was just thinking earlier in the walk that we haven't come across any bog, and lo and behold, we're up here and we're in the bogs. Bit of a man, very tranquil walking. Ahead of us there we've got Shulmoor, which is where we peak. And just see on top of there, that is the trig point. So that's the trig point we were at, and we're now walking over the fells, and ahead of us you can see there's the RAF station. There's a little blob just on the highland there. It's the radar station. It's right Bannock way. All around we've got some dramatic scenery in the background. I know I said it before, but days don't get much better than this, I don't think. sort of getting to the end of our trek across the moors here, and it's been most pleasant. Very, very tranquil, some great scenery. We've got our friend for the day, for the walk, and we've got Moor, which we climbed earlier, and we've got ahead of us, we've got the cairn. So let's go and have a look and see what the views are like from there. Where do we get to the cairn? Views keep going for miles. So we've got the path pretty much straight ahead of us here. We've got just the tops of a clump of trees. There's some trees over to the right. Where the tops of the clump of trees are, I'll try and point that out with an arrow. We need to turn left and we're going to go up that gorge to get to Spout. This one's been ever so nice. The variation of the walk, sitting inside there with the trig, the river walking, fell walking. We're going to go and check out a waterfall as well. It's amazing how much you can get back into in a matter of a few hours. Tremendous. We're now down off the fells and it's really pleasant walking up there. We can see centre of screen that Moor with the trig point on top. And we are getting close to Linhope Spout. We're just going to pan round. Fantastic scenery. And ahead of us here in the gully, that's our way up to Linhope Spout. So we're going to be heading up there and checking the waterfall out. Looking forward to this. So we're now getting closer to Linhope Spout, and you can see the river as it gently flows through the valley, and there up ahead of us is Linhope Spout. Let's go and check it out. We've left Linhope Spout now, and we're heading back down the path, back down to the start, probably about a mile or so, and just starting to reflect on a great day. It's I think the biggest thing that's come out of this is the change from the last time I undertook this walk, where there was a lot of snow, and how prepared you've sort of got to be for all the changing conditions. But yeah, this has been great. The variation in the walk has just been it's been fantastic. Really has been fantastic. So not a lot further to go. I'll check in again before we get there, and see you in a minute. You may have noticed during the walk that I've had different tops and things on. And that's purposeful. I'm doing some reviews for a number of equipment manufacturers. I'll put the logos down the side. So if you're watching this when this video has just been released, they will be coming out shortly. If you're watching it when it's been released for a while, why not go and check them out? There's about 5 different reviews are going to come out. So I've got this walk, another walk coming up. So yeah, we give the equipment a damn good going over and Plan Watch Walk to bring you some honest reviews. So we're nearly there at the end of the walk, not much further to go, and yeah, sort of sad in the way it's ended. It's been a really nice one. We have covered 9 miles today. We've peaked at 1,736 feet, been out for around about 5 hours, and I've had a total ascent of 1,857 feet. Well, that concludes this walk, which is a bit of a shame because I've really enjoyed it. As I said before, the variation has just been wonderful. If you've got this far, thank you ever so much. It really is appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed and you've got this far, why not become part of the Plan Watch Walk family and subscribe? That would be fantastic. Lots more in the pipeline, lots more planned, lots more to come. So yeah, looking forward to bringing it all to you. So until the next time we meet, bye for now.